Hello everyone, welcome to the reading vlog. I just woke up, so I'm filming this first thing in the morning. Just to catch you up to speed, over on my book talk, I talked about the fact that I want to read 10 books before the end of the summer. So far I'm at 4, so I'm just over halfway there, which is giving me a lot of motivation to keep reading. Also, this is really a good environment for reading. The trailer where I live doesn't have Wi-Fi at the moment, so I've been using, I have to use my data, and I don't like using my data, so I do spend a lot of time reading. So, just to show you where I'm at, in my last vlog you saw that I was reading Final Offer. I am still reading that. It's like a 400-page romance book, and I've heard a lot of people say that this didn't need to be 400 pages, and so far I kind of agree. A lot of it has been kind of unnecessary. I don't hate it. It's definitely like a 3-star right now. It could definitely be better, to be real. It could be better. But I've kind of felt that way about all of Lauren Asher's books so far. We are, however, about 300 pages in, and they've only, kissed twice or something like that, which I like. As you know, if you've seen my study vlog, I talked about it pretty in depth. The fact that I don't particularly like when things happen really fast. It's one of the reasons why I didn't love the first book, The Fine Print, because I'm pretty sure they had made out on the first 80 pages, and I kind of was like, whoa. That's a little fast for me. It's a little fast for my taste. Also, I'm also trying to pick out what book I should read after this. When I'm about halfway through a book, I can normally figure out what I want to read next because I'm a mood reader and I can't follow a TV. I tried to make myself a strict TBR, I'm gonna read this and then I'm gonna read this and then I'm gonna read this, but I'll get into a mood about a specific kind of book that I want to read, and I won't be able to read anything else. Currently, I'm in a bit of a romance kick. I'm normally a very hardcore fantasy reader. I just love reading fantasy and it's my go-to genre. However, I'm in a bit of a summer romance thing at the moment. So, and I'm looking on my bookshelf here to see what I brought, and I don't think I brought any other romance books that kind of carry the same vibe as this. I'm gonna look again and see if maybe there's something I can find, because this will automatically put me in a slump if I don't read the book that I want to read, you know what I mean? I know that I have 2 of Ali Hazelwood's books sitting on my bookshelf, and that will give me the romancy vibe that I want. Those are on my bookshelf at my mom's house. I could go get them. I think the next time I'm going down there is Monday. It is Friday, so that feels like a long time to wait, especially considering I will probably finish this book in the next 2 days and then just do nothing for a day. I don't know. You know, I've considered tackling A Court of Silver Flames a couple times. I am incredibly intimidated by it. It is a massive book. You can't tell me that this is not an intimidating sized book. You would be lying if you said you were not intimidated by this thing. And this thing is huge, and even though I love the ACOTAR series, this is an intimidatingly large book. In fact, hold on. 751 pages. This is a 750-page book. So I'm in the square today. It is Saturday. Today I am going to look for some new books because I'm looking for that summer romance that I've been talking about. So I'm super excited to go and do that. I got books! I got books! I got books! I got books. As I do, I have officially gone book shopping. I was talking about, earlier in this vlog, as you saw, I was talking about getting a cute summer romance, and I just couldn't get it out of my head once it, dug its way in there. So I decided I wanted to go find some books. I went into the local bookstore in town. I also was able to put a book on hold because I asked them, I said, hey, what are the chances you guys have The Fourth Wing? because you can't find it anywhere right now. It's just like that book does not exist on anyone's radar because it's so sold out all the time. I mean, when once BookTok gets a hold of something, it's really hard to get our claws out of it. It's crazy. So I was like, what are the chances you guys have that? And they said, well, we ordered it and we'll see. And they looked it up for me and they said, yeah, we put it on order. It should be in sometime next week. And I was like, oh, awesome, I'll come in then. And then my mom, because she's smarter than me, she said, hey, can you put a book on hold for someone? They went, yeah, you can. So I got the book on hold. So just so you know, we will be doing The Fourth Wing read through and review at some point. So anyways, I'll show you what books I got. The first one I got, this is the first book they recommended me. It is Beach Read by Emily Henry. So I have never actually read an Emily Henry book. I know, crazy. I'm like the only person who has had a BookTok account for over a year and has never read an Emily Henry novel, but it's been everywhere. Emily Henry, apparently there are some hardcore Emily Henry stans out there in the world, and maybe I'll become one of them after reading this. They had every Emily Henry book, and she said that for a summary beach romance story that Beach Read would be the best one for me. So I read over I read the back of each Emily Henry book, and I did decide that I would like this one. I thought about getting Happy Place, but I figured that I should probably get one of her earlier books before getting her newest one, so I ended up with Beach Read. Now, the other book that I got this book solely because they recommended it to me, and this woman, I've never seen a woman be more excited to talk about a book. Sometimes with that level of conviction, you can't really back down. So she told me about Lessons in Chemistry. She said it was the best-selling novel last year for their store, and she read the back out to me and told me a little bit about it and how great it is. And I remember when I was working at Indigo, I remember how much people loved this book and how it sold out really fast on our shelves. So I also got this. So the two books I ended up with are Beach Read and Lessons in Chemistry. So we're gonna continue reading Final Offer and see where we end up. So it is late, so I'm not going to take up too much of your time. It's just past 11 p.m. and I have finished The Final Offer by Lauren Asher. I'm going to give a little bit more of an in-depth review tomorrow because it's late and I'm tired and I have to go to work tomorrow, so I'm now going to go to bed now that I've finished this book. But I will give a little bit more of a review and talk a little bit about my feelings about this book tomorrow. Hello, I'm back at home for a couple days, which is why this is a very familiar setting to a lot of previous viewers. The other thing is that I left my camera charger and the battery back at my trailer, so we're filming on the phone right now because of this. I finished this book late last night and I didn't really get a good opportunity to talk about it, so I figured I would talk about it now. I gave The Final Offer a 3.5 out of 5, which is actually the highest rated Lauren Asher book that I've read from this series. This is the third and final book in the series, and it centers around the third brother, who I liked the most out of all the three brothers. Let's talk about what I liked about this book. What I liked about this book is that nothing felt too cheesy, which was a problem, and I think in her first book specifically. In her first book, I found she was super cheesy about things, and just the way she was writing her books, it just wasn't for me personally. However, this book is really different, and I think that it is the least cheesy and the most professional book she's written yet. She's very much evolved as a writer in this particular book. You can tell she definitely has gotten better as a writer at this particular time in her book. So I really appreciated that. The other thing I really liked is Callahan as a character, the main male protagonist. I had a problem with her first two books and the brothers, the main male protagonists in her first two books, being too similar. Rowan and Declan felt like the same character, but like slightly different. I find that a lot of authors fall into that trap of not being able to make characters who are different and distinguished in their own right. And I think she really nailed it with this one, which I was a little worried that Callahan was going to be too much like Rowan and Declan, but she actually, it was a very refreshing character, which I really appreciated. I also think the pacing was well done in this book. I'm not going to get into the page numbers, we will save that for later, but what I did appreciate about it was the pacing of the book. And at no point did I find anything felt too rushed or anything like that. However, getting into the first cons of this particular book, there is no world in which I feel the need to read a 500+ page romance. No need. I think about a fifth of this book was completely unnecessary. Was it paced well? Yes. Was it necessary? No. I think there are a lot of problems in this book with just, like, there was a lot of unnecessary things throughout this entire book. Things that I was like, there is no world in which a romance has to be 500+ pages. With both the epilogues, this book rounds out at like 580 something pages. It is almost a 600-page book. For a romance, no thank you. The other problem I have with this book is Alana, who is our main female protagonist. She reminds me too much of Iris, the main female protagonist of book 2. While Callahan, or Cal, was really well done, I found that Lana reminded me too much of Iris in like a scary way. I was like, this is just Iris, but like slightly different. It's almost as if Lauren Asher did like a reverse, because in the first 2 books, I found that Zara and Iris were very different and Rowan and Declan were too similar. And now I'm having the opposite problem, where Callahan is very different from Rowan and Declan, but Lana is very similar to Iris. And it rubs me the wrong way a little bit. I feel like Lana had the potential to be such a striking character from the other 2 and to tap in a little bit more to her Spanish roots. I believe she's Colombian, and I think we had an opportunity to tap into that a little bit more to give her a more refreshed character. Overall, I did like this book. I would say if you like this one, you can read the other 2 if you're not too worried about order. If you want to read them in order, go ahead, but I would go into that knowing that the first book is not very good. I think I gave the first book a 2.5, but after that, they get better as you go. So read the first one, read the second, read the third. It's a good romance, but I wouldn't go farther than that. I would end there. It's a good romance. Will I read it again? No. Will I forget like 80% of the plot in the next 2 months? Absolutely. But it might be worth your while. It's very summery, refreshing, small town. The tropes that are very predominant in this book are forced proximity, small town romance, and second chance romance. If you like any of those 3 things, you're gonna enjoy this book. So that is my review of Final Offer by Lauren Asher. So I talked about reading the Emily Henry book after this one, but I am probably not going to do that. And the only reason I say that is because I have The Fourth Wing put on hold, and that has to be its own video, I think, or at least a part of a different video. The Fourth Wing is set to come in sometime middle of this week, and I cannot commit to another book knowing that the one that I want to read really bad is just waiting for me, because I will end up ditching the Emily Henry book to go read The Fourth Wing, and I don't want to never come back to it and piss off all the Emily Henry stans. So I'm probably just gonna wait it out and wait for The Fourth Wing to come in, and I'll probably read that in a separate video. So you've made it to the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed. If you guys like this, let me know and I'll keep making more book content. I love reading, of course, and as you know, I do have a BOOKtok account that you guys can go follow if you want to see a little bit more from my side of reading and things like that. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you next week. Bye!